In this three-part series, Age, Wisdom, and the Power of Not Giving a Shit, we are going beyond traditional body positivity. It's about reconnecting with the parts of ourselves we may have hidden, ignored, or wish were different. Today, we're digging into the layers of pressure and expectation around aging. For midlife women and older, society has created an impossible ideal that not only glorifies youth, but also equates it with relevance, sexual desirability, and worth. It's time to reject these ideals and embrace the power, wisdom, and resilience that only grow with age. This episode is all about freeing ourselves from these outdated, damaging standards and reclaiming our value from within. You don't want to miss this episode. Welcome to How to Lose the Weight, the podcast for women ready to stop waiting for someday and live life now. I'm your host, Holly Toscanini, and I'm here to help you break free from perfectionism, self-doubt, and the someday mindset. Together, we'll dive into real conversations about self-trust, empowerment, and living authentically. If you're ready to reconnect with your intuition and step into your power, you're in the right place. Let's lose the weight and start living fully right now. Welcome back to How to Lose the Weight. I'm your host, Holly Toscanini. Part 2 of this series is called Breaking Free from the Age Cage, Embracing Midlife Power and Wisdom. And today, we're pulling back the curtain on aging, beauty standards, and the incredible power and wisdom we possess as we grow older. For midlife and older women, we live in a society that glorifies youth. And the problem is that we don't understand how we got here. We need to look at where this obsession with youth comes from. We live in a culture that glorifies thinness, perfect skin, and endless energy, all qualities associated with youth. Media, beauty industries, and advertising have reinforced the idea that younger is better, and women are told that to be valued, they have to look as though time hasn't touched us, and beneath it all is a deeply ingrained patriarchal message. If we want to be worthy of attention or admiration, we need to look young and flawless, period. Relentless advertising tells us that beauty means wrinkle-free skin, a slim-toned body, and perfect shiny hair. This standard doesn't just set impossible goals. It sidelines and diminishes women as we grow older, making us feel as though aging is something to be hidden or denied to stay relevant. The unspoken message is that if we want to stay visible, we have to remain young-looking. And that's not just unrealistic, it can be harmful. To understand how we can reclaim and celebrate our bodies and age, we first need to look back on how society has influenced the way we see ourselves. See, historically, women's bodies have been subject to intense scrutiny and control, all dictated by a patriarchal society. From restrictive corsets to the waif-like figures idolized in the 90s and actually starting to make a comeback now, each era has pushed its own set of ideals, and these ideals are really rooted in power dynamics. When women are occupied with achieving impossible beauty standards, they're often too distracted to pursue things like, education, career advancement, or even activism. And the media has played a huge role in reinforcing these standards. We're bombarded with images of models and influencers who portray a pretty narrow and often digitally enhanced version of beauty. And this creates a false narrative, making many women feel inadequate simply because they don't look like these fake images. And it doesn't get easier with age, does it? Women over 50 are expected to look eternally youthful, slender, and most importantly, sexy. It's exhausting. Diet culture feeds right into this by promising happiness through a thinner body. And the weight loss industry, worth billions, preys on our insecurities, pushing the idea that our value depends on our size. This constant messaging fuels a cycle of dieting, weight fluctuation, and perpetual dissatisfaction. But what's never discussed is how this expectation is used to undermine our wisdom and experience. By placing so much value on youth, society is telling us that our worth diminishes with age. Yet here's the truth we don't hear often enough. As we grow older, we gain strength, resilience, and wisdom that no 20-year-old could possibly have. And that is true beauty, true relevance, and let's face it, true power. As we age, society holds us to standards that become even more unrealistic and damaging. And we're told that signs of aging, like wrinkles, gray hair, weight shifts, the occasional chin hair, these are all flaws to be fixed. Menopause and perimenopause, which are natural and powerful parts of life, are treated like problems rather than transformations. We're bombarded with products, diets, and solutions that are supposed to make us feel inadequate unless we look youthful. Our shifting body composition, our changing skin texture, and graying hair are normal. But media and beauty industries paint them as problems to fix. No wonder perimenopause and menopause become times of intense self-doubt for so many women. When society treats these changes like signs of failure, we're left feeling inadequate or as if we're losing ourselves. See, menopause and the changes that come with it are a natural part of life, not symptoms of decline. And instead of treating them like flaws, what if we could see them as badges of resilience and growth? I mean, really, it's time to unlearn the idea that our value diminishes with these changes. But, okay, let's take a step back. What if our bodies aren't the problem at all? What if these changes are simply natural and we don't need to fight them to remain valuable? Now, this doesn't mean we don't care for ourselves or make choices about how we look or how we take care of our bodies. It means we do these things from a place of self-respect, not fear or self-criticism. And these changes like graying hair, softening slack skin, shifting body types, these are all signs of a life fully lived. For many midlife women, the workplace is where ageism hits the hardest. We experience what I call the age cage in our careers. And despite our years of experience, our skill, and let's face it, our resilience in the workplace, we're often overlooked in favor of younger employees. Employers tell us they need fresh energy or a youthful image to stay relevant. It's painful and frustrating, especially when we know how much we have to offer. Our experience, skills, and wisdom are overshadowed by a superficial desire for youth. Here's where I encourage you to ask yourself, why does our society continue to prioritize superficial youth over the strength and depth that comes with age? I mean, it doesn't apply to men, does it? I mean, women have put in the years, the work, and the learning. And it's time we're seen for that, not how smooth our skin is or how many gray hairs we hide. I believe it's time we reject this cage of invisibility and see ourselves, and more importantly, let's start to see each other as valuable, powerful, and wise. In our culture, aging is often portrayed as something to fear, to avoid, or hide. And these beliefs are so pervasive that many of us just take them in without even realizing it. And over time, they become part of our own internal dialogue, that critical voice that insists we're losing our value as we grow older, or that we need to change ourselves to remain relevant. But when we start tuning into our intuition, we tap into a source of wisdom that transcends these external standards. And intuition isn't about logic, analysis, or comparison. It's about knowing. It's an inner sense that cuts through the noise and gives us a clear, unwavering sense of who we are and what feels right for us. And when we strengthen our connection to this inner knowing, we develop an ability to see ourselves beyond society's narrow definitions of beauty and worth. Now, as we age, the expectations society places on us often feel heavier and more restrictive. And we might even feel we have to maintain a certain appearance, behave a certain way, or even conceal our true selves to meet these expectations. But when we turn inward and listen to our intuition, we begin to reconnect with a deeper, truer sense of self. Intuition helps us recognize that we're more than the physical changes we experience or the roles we've taken on. It reminds us of our life experiences, our resilience, our kindness, and the unique ways we have impacted the lives of others. Tuning into our intuition can help us define ourselves based on the qualities and experiences that are meaningful to us, instead of the superficial measures of success or beauty that society tells us we need to live up to. When we reclaim this self-definition, we can stop comparing ourselves to an impossible ideal and instead celebrate the richness of our own journey. Now, one of the most powerful aspects of intuition is its ability to help us set boundaries. Society's expectations, whether they're about how we should look, dress, or even feel, are ever present. They're reinforced by the media, the beauty industry, and sometimes even by those closest to us. Without strong boundaries, these expectations can seep into our lives and dictate how we see ourselves. When we trust our intuition, we gain the courage to set boundaries within these external expectations. We become comfortable saying things like, hey, that doesn't work for me, or, I'm going to choose a different path. And this boundary setting isn't just about rejecting what we don't want, it's about protecting the space within us where we can nurture what we do want. It allows us to create a life that's built on our values, our desires, and comfort, instead of on the fleeting opinions or trends of others. Now, intuition also gives us the clarity to define our own standards for what it means to age well. And while society's ideal of aging might invoke wrinkle-free skin and a super-toned physique, or that, youthful glow, whatever that is, our intuition reminds us that there is no single right way to grow older. We can choose what feels good. We choose what brings us joy and what aligns with our values. Defining our own standards might mean embracing gray hair, or it might mean dyeing it. It might mean focusing on physical health and mobility, or it might mean prioritizing well-being and self-care. It could mean choosing a minimalist approach to skincare or experimenting with fashion that expresses our current sense of self. The beauty of intuition is that it's personal. It frees us from a one-size-fits-all approach to aging, and it empowers us to decide what aging well looks like for each one of us. When we stop measuring ourselves against society's standards, we also stop seeking its approval. Instead, we're able to focus on the things that bring us genuine happiness and fulfillment. And here's the true power of it. By trusting ourselves and our intuition, we're cultivating a sense of self-worth that isn't easily shaken, regardless of what's going on in the world around us. And perhaps one of the greatest gifts of intuition is the freedom it offers from society's approval. Society's standards are ever-changing. They're inconsistent, and quite frankly, they're often unattainable. When we seek validation outside of ourselves, we're always at the mercy of these shifting ideals. But intuition offers us a grounded, unwavering sense of self-worth that doesn't rely on anyone else's opinion. When we trust our intuition, we can focus on our growth, our fulfillment, and our happiness, regardless of whether society celebrates those things. We can create a life that's full, rich, and deeply meaningful without waiting for others to recognize our worth. This is where true empowerment lies. And society may never celebrate wrinkles, laugh lines, or gray hair, but when we see them as markers for a life well lived, they become powerful symbols of our journey. Intuition is a deeply personal tool that each of us carries, one that can guide us to a life that's true, meaningful, and aligned with our deepest values. It liberates us from the constant chase for society's approval, and it empowers us to set our own standards for what it means to live well and age beautifully. And when we honor our intuition, we find that the journey of aging becomes a celebration of who we are, not a pursuit of who we should be. Intuition, it also allows us to say, I define my worth, my own beauty, and my own success. And in doing so, we free ourselves to live fully and authentically, exactly as we are. Now, I want to bring in a couple of core principles from my personal philosophy, the Manifesto for Reclaiming Body Sovereignty. Now, these aren't just ideas. They're daily reminders that help us stay rooted in our own values, not society's. So I want to first start with My Body, My Rules. This is about reclaiming autonomy. Whether you embrace gray hair, wrinkles, or changes from menopause, or you choose to wear makeup, have Botox or filler, or dye your hair, it's your decision. You get to choose how you age, how you care for yourself, and how you want to present yourself to the world. Next, every woman's body is a worthy body. This simply means no matter your age, weight, abilities, or appearance, your body has inherent value. Let's celebrate what our bodies allow us to experience, to feel, and to contribute, instead of viewing them as objects to be scrutinized or corrected. Next, celebrate every win, big or small. Age brings resilience, strength, and courage, and by recognizing even the smallest acts of self-love, we affirm that our lives have depth and value beyond the superficial. Each moment of acceptance and gratitude is a powerful step towards true self-worth. Now, here's a simple challenge for the week. Take one small step to reject ageist standards. Now, this might mean skipping the anti-aging aisle, sharing a positive story about aging with a friend, or spending a few minutes each day appreciating your body's strength. And here's a journaling prompt to guide you. Get out your journal and ask yourself this: how would my life look if I let go of the standard to stay young forever? What wisdom and strengths have I gained as I've aged that I'm grateful for? And if you're comfortable, share your insights on social media with hashtag Reclaiming My Body on my Instagram account at Holly Toscanini so we can continue this conversation together. Now, next time, we're going to wrap up this series with Reclaiming Every Part, where I'm going to walk you through the how of living in alignment with body sovereignty. We're going to dive into some practical practices, do some self-affirming routines, and learn how to truly celebrate the body you live in right now. Now, if you're ready to ditch those limiting beliefs and you're craving a life that's all about connection, empowerment, and truly understanding your body, I'm going to invite you to download my free ebook, Unlock Your Intuition, 5 Keys to Reconnecting with Your Body. It's your guide to breaking free and embracing a more fulfilling existence. This ebook is for you if you want to feel connected, if you want to reconnect with your body's wisdom and learn to trust your inner voice. If you're tired of dieting, you'll learn to say goodbye to restrictive diets and hello to a balanced, intuitive approach to eating. And if you're seeking holistic wellness, you'll learn to integrate your mind, body, and spirit for a truly balanced life. If you're craving self-acceptance, you'll learn to embrace body neutrality and find joy in movement that feels right for you. And if you're ready for transformation, this ebook is your first step towards a more intuitive, connected, and fulfilling life. So download your free ebook, Unlock Your Intuition, 5 Keys to Reconnecting with Your Body. You can learn more on my website at hollytoscanini.com, or I'll include the link in the show notes. Thank you for joining me today. Remember, age is not a loss. It's a powerful gain. Each year adds resilience, strength, and wisdom that no beauty standard can take away. And as we continue to reclaim our bodies on our own terms, we're not just building confidence, we're breaking free from every cage society has tried to keep us in. Until next time, keep embracing every part of you, and remember, you are powerful, you are worthy, and you are enough exactly as you are. Bye for now. Thank you for tuning in to How to Lose the Weight. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe so you never miss a conversation. And if you found value in this episode, I'd love it if you could leave a review. It really helps the show reach more women like you who are ready to step into their power. For more insights and inspiration, follow me on Instagram at Holly Toscanini or visit hollytoscanini.com. Until next time, remember, stop waiting and start living.